میرے چچا شاہ کی میں جائی ہوں، دکھ بہت میں پائی ہوں، غم سے اب گھبرائی ہوں، تم کو لینے آئی ہوں، روٹھنا تم کو بھتیجی سے اگر تھا اس طرح، پیار کیوں اتنا دیا، اب مصیبت میں نہیں کوئی ہمارا آسرا، گھر چلو میرے چچا، اٹھ کے دیکھو تو مجھے گال ہے سوجھے ہوئے، کان زخمی ہو گئے، چھن گئے گوہر میرے، تم نہیں ہو تو ستاتے ہیں ہمیں یہ اشکیاء، ظلم ہے ہر دم نیا، شمر کو دینی ضروری ہے جسار کی سزا، گھر چلو میرے چچا، ظلم تازہ ہو گیا، ہائے وہ اصغر میرا، اس کا لاشا پھول سا جس کو دفنایا گیا، کھود کر اس کی لحد بچے کا سر کاٹا گیا، بس کسی کا نہ چلا، چل گئے خیمے میں تو دیکھو ذرا یہ ماجرا، حال ہے مادر کا کیا، گھر چلو میرے چچا، کچھ نہیں بھی ہے بچا، کٹ گیا بابا کا سر، ہو گئی میں بے پدر، جاؤں بولو میں کدھر، رکھ کے سوتی تھی میں اپنے باپ کے سینے پہ سر، نیند کا اب کیا گزر، آپ گھر آئے تو گھر آ جائے گا بابا میرا، گھر چلو میرے چچا، جل گئے خیمے وہاں، بے ردا سب بیبیاں کرتی ہے خوب کا، کیا کرے محسن بیاں، بے کسی کی شام میں بچی کی وہ خوب کا، اور تڑپنا لاش کا، گونجتی تھی عالم غربت میں پیہم یہ صدا، گھر چلو میرے چچا، گھر چلو میرے چچا، صلوات۔ ان بابا سے بلند صلوات پڑھ۔ بابا سے بلند صلوات پڑھ۔ صلی اللہ محمد و آلہ۔ وجود حق سے یہ سارا نظام قائم ہے، وجود حق سے یہ سارا نظام قائم ہے، کسی کے فیض سے یہ انتظام قائم ہے، وہ اور ہوں گے یتیمان مذہب و ملت، وہ اور ہوں گے یتیمان مذہب و ملت، ہمارے سر پہ ہمارا امام قائم ہے، وجود حق سے درود محمد۔ ہائے کس بے کس مظلوم کا یہ ماتم ہے، فاطمہ آئی ہے رونے کو یہ کس کا غم ہے، ننگے سر ساتھ ہے حوریں بھی عجب عالم ہے، رونے والوں سے یہ ارشاد بھی تو رونے والوں سے بھی ارشاد یہ تو، رونے والوں تمہیں رونے کا سلا دینے کو. فاطمہ آئی ہے تم سب کو دعا دینے, فاطمہ آئی ہے تم سب کو دعا دے. اے عزادارو تمہیں خالق اکبر کی قسم, کون مظلوم ہے وہ تم کو پیغمبر کی قسم. نام لو اس کا زباں سے تمہیں حیدر کی قسم. بے زباں ہنسلیوں والے علی اصغر, بے زباں ہنسلیوں والے علی اصغر. رو کے کہہ دو کہ کوئی بے کس و مظلوم نہیں جز حسین ابن علی اور کوئی جز حسین ابن علی اور کوئی مظلوم نہیں. یہی مظلوم مدینے کا ہے رہنے والا, ایک سیدانی نے فاخوں میں جسے تھا پالا. نرز بوجرے امامت کا یہی ہے حالہ, ایک بے کس پہ ستم ہے کہ فلک نے, ایک بے کس پہ ستم ہے یہ فلک نے. صبح سے عصر تلک گھر کو لٹایا اس نے, مر گئے سب تو گلا اپنا کٹا, مر گئے سب تو گلا اپنا کٹایا. یا حسین آپ کی مظلومیوں غیرت کے نثار, سر کو کٹوا دیا کی شان سے ہمت کے نثار. تے خنجر بھی کیا سجدے عبادت کے نثار, ننگے سر دیکھا نام شیر کو غیرت کے ننگے سر دیکھا نام شیر کو غیرت. او فدا پہ عاشقوں سے دھونے والے, یا حسین آپ پہ صدقے ہو, یا حسین آپ پہ صدقے ہو یہ رونے. دیکھو اس بے کسو مظلوم کی شان غربت, چھوٹے بیٹے کی لہت کو دی ہے افیے ہمت. کانپتے ہاتھوں سے آقا نے بنائی تربت, کیا کہے کس سے کہے قلب کی اپنی, کیا کہے کس سے کہے قلب کی اپنی. چاند کو اپنے تے خاک چھپایا ہے ابھی, ہنسلیوں والے کو تربت میں سلایا, ہنسلیوں والے کو تربت میں سلایا. کس قدر بے کسو مجبور تھا یہ شاہ عرب, نا کفن چھوٹے سے بسیت کا ہوا اس کا نصیب. سر کو کٹوائے ہوئے سوتے ہیں اب اس کے حبیب, پیاسے 3 شب روز کی حالت ہے اج, پیاسے 3 شب روز سے حال. یا علی کہہ کے سنبھالا ہے دل مستر کو, خون بھرے کرتے میں دفنایا علی, خون بھرے کرتے میں دفنایا علی اصغر. رو کے دیتے ہیں صدائے منہ انور بولو, اے میرے چھوٹے شہیدہ میرے دلبر بولو. باپ کو چھوڑ کے تنہا گئے کیوں کر بولو, درد کیسا ہے میں, درد کیسا ہے گلے میں علی اصغر بول, درد کیسا ہے گلے میں علی اصغر بول. گود میں بیٹھ کے سب حال سنانا بیٹا, تیر کا زخم بھی دادی کو دکھا, تیر کا درد بھی دادی کو, تیر کا زخم بھی دادی کو دکھانا بیٹا.
Fellows, my young friends, can move a little forward, please. I know there are not many people at the moment, but you know, after a little while, a lot of people will be coming in, so that there's no inconvenience for them as well. Thank you. मोमिनीन, अल्लूर में मजलिस का सिलसिला इंशाल्लाह 12 मुहर्रम तक जारी व सारी रहेगा. मजलिस ठीक 7:15 बजे शुरू हो जाती है, जिससे मौलाना शौकत अली मिर्ज़ा साहब खिताब फरमाते हैं. इससे कबल के मौलाना को आज के हदीस के लिए दावत दूँ. आप खजा से गुजारिश है आज के बानी मजलिस, आज के स्पॉन्सर्स के मरहूमीन के लिए, अपने हाज़रीन के मरहूमीन के लिए, तमाम जुमला मरहूमीन मोमिनात के लिए सूरत मुबारक और फातिहा. गुजारिश है मौलाना साहब से तशरीफ लाएं और आज की मजलिस से खिताब फरमाएं. मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद बावज़ बुलंद सलवात.
सलवात अल मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद. ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाहिल अलील अज़ीम. बिस्मिल्लाह बिल आलमीन. सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यदिल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन, शफीइल मुज़नबीन, खातमुन नबिय्यीन, रहमतल लिल आलमीन, जद्दिल हसन वल हुसैन, अल मुस्तफ़ल अमजद, अल महमूदिल अहमद, अबिल क़ासिमिल मुहम्मद. सलातु वस्सलामु अला अल इमामिल मुज़फ़्फ़र, शजाइल ग़ज़नफ़र, क़ासिम तूबा व सक़र, अबी शुबैरुम व शबर, क़ालिअ बाबिल ख़ैबर, साक़ी हौज़िल कौसर, अल इमाम नज्मिस साक़िब, इमामिल मशारिक़ी वल मग़ारिब, मज़हरिल अजाइब व मुज़हरिल ग़राइब, अल्लज़ी हुब्बुहु फ़र्ज़ुन अलल हाज़िर वल ग़ाइब, गालिबुन अला कुल्ल गालिब, मतलूब कुल्ल तालिब, मौलाना मुक़्तदाना व हादियना अली इब्न अबी तालिब. सलातु वस्सलामु अला वालिहि तय्यबीन अत्ताहिरीन अल मासूमीन अल मज़लूमीन, व लअनतुल्लाहि अला अअदाइहिम अजमईन मिन यौमिना हादा इला यौमिद्दीन. सलवात. Before I start my majlis today, there are a few announcements. There is a request that to recite Surah Fatiha in the names of Ibrahim Ali Khan, Ibn Fateh Nasib Khan, Muhammad Ali Raza, Ibn Muhammad Tahir Ali, Mirza Asghar Ali Beg, Ibn Mirza Riyasat Ali Beg. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. There is one more announcement that Amal Ashura will be held in this Imam Bargah tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. People who are interested to join, they can join. And there will be a Majlis Ashura at 3 p.m. and Majlis Sham-e Ghariba immediately after Namaz Maghrib. And the Namaz Maghrib will be performed tomorrow at 6:40 inshallah. You are requested to participate in this majalis. Salawat bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There is also a request that it seems children are interested to meet me to talk to me. We thought of meeting on the weekend. If it is too difficult, tomorrow after the 3 p.m. Majlis, which will be over hopefully before 4 p.m. I think we have free time from 4 p.m. until Maghrib, and I don't have plans to go out of this Imam Barga. So the respective parents, the children are welcome to meet me tomorrow after the evening Majlis until Namaz Maghrib. Salam, Salawat Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, I must thank God, thank the Holy 14, and once again the organizers of this Majalis, and you, the audience, for giving me an opportunity that we discussed the objectives of Karbala, the values of Azadari Imam Hussain since last 9 days. Even though, as being announced, these Majalis will continue until 12th of Muharram, but I don't know, it is a trend that majority of the people conclude their Azadari for Ashra Awwal as on date. Though we request that they should also join us on 11th Muharram and 12th Muharram. But it has also been a trend that any subject, any topic, theme of Majalis, whatever we start, we try to conclude, considering it today's night Majlis as the last Majlis in the series. Because tomorrow I will not be able to discuss any subject matter other than Masaib. And as announced, as informed, the 11th Muharram Majlis is also pertaining only to Masaib. So I might have some time on 12th of Muharram. So basically today is the day for me to conclude, to remind, to re-remind what we have discussed so far. I try to concentrate my Majlis towards youth more often, and I request them again and again to consider the value of this Majlis Hussain, Azadari Hussain. We discussed almost for first 3 days, from 1st Muharram to 3rd Muharram. And every day I stressed on the point that as if even today we are not aware of the value of the place where you are sitting. We are not aware of the time that you are passing in this event. We are not aware what is the value of this activity, what we call it as Azadari Imam Hussain. Technology has changed, so there are various means to inform about Muharram. We call them, we send SMS, we send WhatsApp messages. We have websites. We have several modes of communication to inform: newspapers, television, on a broader spectrum. How the Muharram was announced during the period of Aimma. It is very popular for the period of Imam Sadiq that there was no need to inform, to announce that the new moon of Muharram has been seen on the skies. No. There used to be so much griya from the house of Imam Sadiq that people will understand as if the new moon of Muharram has been sighted. Every Imam has participated in the activities of Azadari. So much so that when there is to be a majlis in the house of Imam Raza, he used to unroll the carpets by himself, what we say farsh bichana. I see almost every day since I arrived a bit early, I often see young boys come forward to make the farsh comfortable, clean, arrange it properly. Probably elders think it is a job of the young boys, and the young boys are not aware what is the work, what the act that they are performing. By making the farsh of farsh aza, they are following the sunnat of Imam Raza. He himself used to do this in every masjid that is being conducted in his house. Yes, he has servants at his house. He has companions. They come forward. They request Imam, "Oh Imam, please permit us. We will do this. Why you want to do this?" And you know what is the reply Imam used to give? تمہیں کیا معلوم اس فرش پر کون کون بیٹھنے والا ہے. If with this thought in the mind that it is not you and me who are participating in this Majlis Hussain, there are several invisible personalities who are there among us. Well, I also take pride that I sit on this mimbar. I took almost one day to explain the importance of this place. One majlis I fully devoted for Zakir and the Maqam-e-Zikr. When Imam conducts the majlis, it is not necessary for Imam that he has to address the audience. Our style of Azadari is like preceding to me, there is a Marsiya, there is a Noha, there is a Salam. This tradition has been going on since last several hundred years. Even during the time of Imam Raza, he has this very, very famous poet called Darbal. I want to show you the importance of the person who participated in the Azadari by reading a Noha, by reading a Marsiya, by reading few ashar in praise of Imam Hussain. Imam was organizing the majlis, he saw Darbal has arrived. He left his seat. He got up. He started walking towards the door to receive Darbal. See the position of a Zakir Imam Hussain, that Waqt ka Imam is walking towards the door to receive the person who is going to read few ashar in praise of Imam Hussain. And not only he went to the door to receive him, he put his hand and gave a big hug. Not only he gave a big hug, he said, "Oh mere dadi ke khadim." They all started crying. "Oh Mala, you are standing up to receive me? I am your ghulam." He said, "Don't you know that? You are the one who write a poetry in praise of Imam Hussain. The value of Darbal is not because he's Darbal. The value of Darbal is because he has written something in the name of Imam Hussain. That means whosoever writes, whosoever says something in praise of Imam Hussain, that is the position of that person in the eyes of 8th Imam." Then he said, Maulana, but you have taken that much pain to come to the door to receive me. He said, Debal, you are only seeing me. You are not able to see others. It is a tradition of Arabs that whenever any death takes place in an Arab house, a senior lady from that family will stand at the lady's door. The father of the died person will stand at the men's door, and they receive whosoever is coming to give pursa for that dead person. Oh Debal, since the day my Hussein has died, Ali stands on the day at the door of the men. Fatima Zahra stands at the door of the ladies' door. Wherever there is a zikr Hussein takes place, Fatima Zahra receives the ladies. Imam Ali receives the gents from Ani Majlis Hussein. Today, if any organizer of a majlis receives you, it is his character, it is his behavior, it is his attitude. They thank you that you have come and taken pain and spent your time. But no matter how much thank it is for them to thank, we are not responding to their thanks, because we know that the host of this majlis is not this man who is standing at the door. The host is somebody much greater than the person who is standing there. Before I still conclude what I have started in the last 9 days, an alim deen has seen Habib ibn Mazahir in his dream, and he asked him, you are one of the unique companion of Imam Hussein. While so many martyrs were buried inside a single grave called Ganj Shahidan, you got a special status that you are next to Imam Hussein. When we say salam, it's a common salam for several Ashab Hussein, we say specific salam to Habib ibn Mazahir. He said that you got a very special status even during your lifetime. Imam Hussein has invited you with a special letter. Imam Hussein has lifted your head before your death. You got a special grave. You got a special position. Whosoever comes to the grave of Imam Hussein, he cannot reach the grave of Imam Hussein unless he crosses your grave. Such a big status you got. Definitely you will be in Jannat along with Imam Hussein. No doubt on that. But I just want to ask you, do you still have some desire hidden in your heart which is unfulfilled? He said, yes. It is true that I am a Sahabi Rasul. I am a Sahabi Ali. I am a friend of Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein has invited me with a special letter. It is also true that I got the position and the prestige that when I died my head was in the lap of Imam Hussein. I got a special grave. Nobody can reach to the grave of Imam Hussein unless they cross my grave. In the salam they say special salam to Habib. But yes, if I get a second life, I will pray God, give me an opportunity. Wherever there is Majlis Hussain, let Allah give me an opportunity that I sit in that Majlis and I will cry on Imam Hussain, because I didn't get chance to cry on Imam Hussain. It's a very, very great place. It is the biggest avenue. It is the biggest and the costliest asset that we the Shias or we the mourners of Imam Hussain got. It is our responsibility to keep the prestige, to keep the dignity of Azadari. Tomorrow is 10th Muharram. All over the world people will come out from Imam Bargahs, Ashur Khanas, on the streets and the roads. People will not have time to read the philosophy of Karbala. People will not have interest to read the philosophy of Islam and understand it. People will just look at us. People will look at our acts and actions, and they will understand that who is the Imam of these people. So we have to be extra careful that our acts should not spoil the reputation of Karbala. We are the ambassadors of Imam Hussain. ہم آئے تھے اس مجلس میں عزادار امام حسین بن کر, ہم آئے تھے اس مجلس میں ماتمدار امام حسین بن کر, لیکن آج کے بعد سے جب اپنے اپنے گھروں کو لوٹ کر جانا تو سفیر امام بن کر جانا کہ دنیا ہمارے کردار سے پہچانے گی کہ یہ ہے حسین کی تیار کردہ فوج, یہ ہے حسین کی تیار کردہ قوم. لوگ پوچھتے ہیں ہم سے that a person who has done a sin cannot enter into Jannat. Yes. Not only Islam, any religion of the world, they claim that a sinner cannot go to Jannat. Then how it is possible that کہ ذاکر ممبر پر بیٹھ کر بولتا ہے اس مجلس میں آؤ, تھوڑی دیر ماتم کر لو, تھوڑے سے آنسو بہاؤ, جنت میں چلے جاؤ؟ کیا ہمارا تھوڑا سا رونے سے ہم جنت میں جا سکتے ہیں؟ ایک گناہگار انسان مجلس حسین میں بیٹھ کر جنت میں جا سکتا ہے؟ تھوڑا سا ماتم کرنے سے کیا ہم جنت میں جا سکتے ہیں؟ گناہگار دنیا کے ہر مذہب میں پایا جاتا ہے. There is no religion in the world where you cannot find a گنہگار. مگر ہے کسی مذہب کے پاس ایسا پانی جس سے گناہ دھوئے جاتے ہوں سوائے مذہب شیعہ کے؟ کسی کے ماتم میں طاقت نہیں ہے کہ اپنے ماتم کے بھروسے پر وہ جنت میں جائے. کسی کے آنسو میں طاقت نہیں ہے کہ وہ اپنے آنسوؤں کے بل جنت میں جائے. دعویٰ ہمیشہ دعویٰ کرنے والے پر منحصر ہوتا ہے کہ دعویٰ کرنے والا خود کتنا طاقتور ہے. عزیزان گرامی, گناہگار جنت میں نہیں جا سکتا جیسے ہوا میں قالین نہیں اڑ سکتا. گناہگار جنت میں نہیں جا سکتا جیسے بہتے ہوئے دریا میں راستہ نہیں بن سکتا. گناہگار جنت میں نہیں جا سکتا جیسے کوئی سخت لوہا ہاتھوں سے نہیں مڑ سکتا. گناہگار جنت میں نہیں جا سکتا جیسے سورج مشرق سے نہیں نکل سکتا. گناہگار جنت میں نہیں جا سکتا جیسے چاند دو ٹکڑے نہیں ہو سکتا. گناہگار جنت میں نہیں جا سکتا جیسے کسی کے گھر پر ستارہ نہیں اتر سکتا. اب یہی جملے کو بدل کر کہوں گا, آگ گلزار ہو سکتی ہے اگر گلزار کرنے والا ابراہیم ہو. قالین ہوا میں اڑ سکتا ہے اگر اڑانے والا سلیمان ہو. لوہا نرم ہو سکتا ہے نرم کرنے والا داؤد ہو. سورج مغرب سے نکل سکتا ہے اگر نکالنے والا مرتضیٰ ہو. چاند دو ٹکڑے ہو سکتا ہے کرنے والا مصطفیٰ ہو. ستارہ زمین پر آ سکتا ہے اگر اس کا در حیدر ہو. گناہگار جنت میں جا سکتا ہے اگر لے جانے والا حسین ہو. ہم نہیں جا سکتے, ہم کو یقین ہے کہ ہم نہیں جا سکتے, لیکن اگر جس کے بلبوتے پر آگ گلزار ہو سکتی ہے, بہتے ہوئے دریا میں راستہ بن سکتا ہے, ہوا میں قالین اڑ سکتا ہے, چاند دو ٹکڑے ہو سکتا ہے, سورج اپنا راستہ بدل سکتا ہے, ستارہ زمین پر لایا جا سکتا ہے, اس کی اپنی مرضی ہے, اس کی اپنی طاقت ہے, وہ چاہا تو کر سکتا ہے. ہمارے ماتم میں طاقت نہیں ہے, ہمارے آنسو میں طاقت نہیں ہے, لیکن اس میں طاقت ہے. سوال یہی ہوا کہ whether we can make our answer in such a way that we should be attracted to him. نہیں, یہ کوئی کمال کی بات نہیں ہے, یہ کوئی کمال کی بات نہیں ہے کہ میں علی کو پہچانوں. یہ کوئی کمال کی بات نہیں ہے کہ میں حسین کو پہچانوں. Very often it happens. جب ہم مجلس پڑھتے ہیں نا, فار ایگزامپل 100, 200, 500 لوگ بیٹھے ہوتے ہیں. If I start reading a majlis at one place for 9 days, several faces gets registered in my mind. I don't know you. I don't know your names. I don't know to which place you belong to. But I know that he is there in my majlis. But more than whatever I remember, it is very easy for you to remember my face. Because while I was looking at 500 faces, 500 people were looking only my face. That is the reason that it is very easy for you to register my face as compared to me remembering your face. So on a road, if I was standing, somebody was in trouble, I passed by. You made a complaint. I was attending for 9 days the majlis of that Maulana. He saw me that I was in trouble. He passed in front of me, but he did not stop his vehicle to pick me, to ask me at least what is the pain for me. Not my fault, because I don't even remember that you were there in my majlis, but you remember me that I was there in majlis. You reverse the situation. I was standing on the roadside, my car broke down, I had some difficulty, 500 people passed by, everyone was stopping, Maulana, do you want any help, any assistance? See the difference. That means what if I say, I know Ali, he is the first Imam, I know Imam Hussain, I did his majlis throughout my life, not a big deal. On the day of Mahshar, we should be in such a position that Hussain should say that this is my friend. Ali should say that he is my follower. Then only there lies my greatness. भीड़ की भीड़ अगर कहती है कि अली पहले इमाम हैं, हुसैन हमारे इमाम हैं, इमाम हसन हमारे इमाम हैं, it's not a big deal. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people are saying so, but it is a very prestigious thing if Imam said that yes, he is my friend and he is my follower. There lies your greatness. So that is the reason that we make this majlis in such a way that we should become like Imam Hussain, like Hazrat Ali, so that on the day of Mahshar he should remember us and point, oh, here is my friend, here is my follower. There lies the greatness. The question is, are we ready for that? We have been doing this majlis since last 9 days. We committed the first day that are we ready for that? Now, if you remember, all those people were there in the first, second and third majlis. Repeatedly, I read one line from the Ziyarat of Imam Hussain. We said, فَيَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ مَعَكُمْ. He remembered that. Salam to Abid Bhai that he remembered that. I am not deviating from my first day until today. That is the main objective and the subject of the majlis. فَيَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ مَعَكُمْ. Kash main Karbala mein hota. Knowing that we cannot go back to Karbala. Then what does it mean? We say that if I were in Karbala, I would have fight along with Imam Hussain. Now when Karbala is over in 61st Hijri, I am still saying فَيَا لَيْتَنِي, meaning that there will be a Karbala in the future, there will be a Hussain, a Waris of Hussain in the future. Oh God, make me eligible to be in the army of Waris of Hussain. Now, when the soldiers in various countries are recruited, there are certain parameters. कद कितना ऊंचा है, सीने की चौड़ाई कितनी है. After passing so many tests, then they are admitted into the army. It is a very, very sensitive position. Do you think that Imam Zamana will recruit us without any parameters? यकीनन वो देखेंगे ईमान की बुलंदी क्या है, तकवे की चौड़ाई क्या है. Question is, am I ready? People ask us, Maulana, my grandfather used to say, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajak. My father used to say, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajak. Since the time of my birth, I am saying, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajak. I am seeing at my son, he is saying, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajak. At least 4 generations have passed. We are praying कि जल्द से जल्द हमारे इमाम का ज़हूर हो. Not only 4 generations, If you look at from 256 Hijrah until 1438 Hijrah, how many mu'mineen, how many ulama ikram, how many zakirin throughout the world, with every majlis, every namaz, every small activity in our house, in our imam bargah, in our masajid. What do we say? We never finish any activity until we read the ziyarat, and in the ziyarat we say, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farjak. इतने लोग दुआएं कर रहे हैं, 1350 साल हो गए. अगर हम तो मामूली आदमी हैं, बड़े बड़े लोगों ने दुआ की, इमाम का ज़हूर नहीं हुआ, अब कब होगा? शायद हमारा पोता, उसका भी पोता नहीं हुआ ना इमाम का ज़हूर, कब होगा? कुरान कहता है कि उसकी निशानियां आना शुरू हो गई. ये आयत कब की है? जब कुरान नाजिल हुआ था. एंड व्हाट इज सेइंग? उसकी निशानियां आना शुरू हो गई. एंड वी से दैट व्हाट निशानी वी आर सेइंग टुडे. हमारे दादा के जमाने में कौन सी निशानी आई? हमारे बाबा के जमाने में कौन सी निशानी आई? हमारे फोर फादर्स के पहले के जमाने में कौन सी निशानी आई? कि नहीं, निशानी तो आई थी. द ओनली डिफरेंस दैट एट दैट टाइम 50 साल में एक निशानी आती थी. तुम्हारे जमाने में एक साल में 50 निशानियां आ रही है. इट इज योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू सी व्हाट आर द पॉइंटर्स, व्हाट आर द साइंस वी आर सीइंग फॉर द ज़हूर इमाम. नो, वी आर कमिंग वेरी क्लोज टू ज़हूर. क्यों नहीं हो रही है ज़हूर? तवज्जो चाहूंगा. एंड देयर इज अ सेकंड थिंग. Yesterday end of majlis we prayed. What do we pray? Surah Namal की आयत. What is that? Ammai yujibul mustarra iza da'a fayakshifu su. I am sure that you are aware of the translation of this ayat. I often request, wherever I go, I request that no matter whatever you read in Arabic, whether it is Quran, whether it is Nahjul Balagha, whether it is dua, whether it is ziyarat, please try to read in your own language also, whether it is Urdu, Hindi, English. Then only you will understand what are we saying. Amman yujibul mustarra izada. When mustar calls Allah, He removes all the pains and difficulties. Who is mustar? The ayat says, I am not translating the word mustar. The ayat says, when mustar calls Allah, amman yujibul mustarra, iza da'a means call, dua karna, pukarna. तो अल्लाह उसकी मुश्किल को दूर कर देता है. मुस्तर कौन है? This is the question. If you read the translation, then you will question yourself. You have read this ayat, I don't know how many times in our lifetime. अम्मन युजीबुल मुस्तर. जब मुस्तर पुकारता, मुस्तर है कौन? यकीनी बात है, जो आदमी बीमार है वो मुस्तर है. जिसके पास जॉब नहीं है वो मुस्तर है. जिसको परेशानी है वो मुस्तर है. जिसके बच्चों की शादी नहीं हुई वो मुस्तर है. जिसके घर में खुदा न खासा कोई वाकया होगा मुस्तर है. Mustar means what? The person who is there in some difficulty, some pains. How many times you read Dua Nudba? And in Dua Nudba, we question, Ainal Mustar, Ainal Mustar. Where is our Mustar? Where is our Mustar? To whom we are referring to? Imam Zamana. That means Imam Zamana is in pains. Imam Zamana is in difficulties. And how do we justify that is in difficulty? There is one more reason. Allahumma kun li waliyika al-hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abaihi fi hadhihi sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyan wa hafiza. I want to stop here. Waliyan wa hafiza. Oh God, please be wali for my imam and hafiza and protect him, not us. Not us. We are praying for Imam Zamana. What are we saying that? Wali yawm hafiza. Please be the wali of my imam and protect him. Oh my God, I was thinking that Imam Zamana is our protector. And now we are praying that, oh God, please protect Imam. Parshan kiya? At least I am able to confuse you for few minutes. This pays lot of attention to me. I know that. This is my style. So first of all, you have to understand who is Mustar. Until now, we were thinking that we are Mustar. But any person who has read Dua Nubda, he knows that we might be Mustar, but we are very, very small, micro level Mustar. The major Mustar is Imam Zamana, because we are saying, Ain al Mustar, Ain al Mustar. That means Imam Zamana is in pains, he is in difficulty, and to get rid of his difficulties, we are praying. Oh God, please be the protector of Imam Zamana. No, Imam Zamana is in Ghaibat. Nobody can reach him. When he is in Ghaibat, nobody can reach him. Why we are praying that, oh God, please protect him. Protect him from whom? If you look at from first Imam to 11th Imam, not a single Imam has died his natural death. Not a single Imam. And ulama explained, this is probably the reason that God has taken away the 12th Imam from this earth and protected somewhere. If you look at Shahadat Imam Ali, when he was performing namaz, that too in a masjid, during the month of Ramadan, he was hit by a sword. If you look at Imam Hassan, before his death, 5 times he was given the poison. After the 5th time, Hazrat Abbas took the responsibility to protect Imam Hassan. He never allows to go out alone. Wherever he goes, he used to be along with him. Still, in spite of that, a high level poison was given to him 6th time. How it was given? Hazrat Abbas was still with Imam Hassan. A blind man with a stick in his hand, shouting, oh the people, please give me some way. I want to reach to the foot of Imam Hassan. I am a blind man. I want to pray. If I touch my eyes to the feet of Imam Hassan, I am sure that I will get the vision in my eyes. Please, please, please give me the way. I want to reach to Imam Hassan. And when he reached Imam Hassan, what did he do? He put the stick at the bottom of which there was a nail. The nail was dipped in a poison. And he hit the stick along with the nail on the foot of Imam Hassan. Because he was a man deputed by Muawiyah at the time. That means whenever there is a possibility of physically visiting Imam, his life could be in danger, and hence there is a need of protection. But when we know that Imam Zamana is not in this world, he has been taken into Ghaibat, nobody can reach him, why we are still saying that he is a Mustar? And not only we are saying that he is a Mustar, we are saying that, oh God, please be the wali of Imam Zamana and protect him. Ulama explained that we cannot imagine how much love and affection Imam has for his followers. Whenever he sees that his follower is in pains, whether it is in Parachinar, whether it is in Lebanon, whether it is in Syria, whether it is in Bahrain, any part of the world, he gets so much saddened that he feels sick. He became Mustar. The difficulties faced by his followers, Imam feel as if the same pains for himself. That is the love of Imam for his followers. And immediately he said, oh God, I pray you, please give me the permission to come out from this Ghaibat and protect my followers. That means Imam is praying to God from 256 Hijrah to come out from the Ghaibat. Does it mean that still God has not fulfilled the prayers of Imam Zamana? Yes. Because God would have accepted the prayers of Imam Zamana. Imam himself take back his prayers. No, I will not go. I don't want to go from Ghaibat at this point of time. Why? When he is saying, he got so much disturbed that all over the world his followers are being crushed, killed. They are in pain, they are in difficulties. Look at the world. Wherever there are Shias, they are in some trouble. There is not a single place in the world today where we can say that Shia itminan ki saans le rahe hain. After seeing all these things, still he take back his plates and say that, oh God, I don't want to go at this time. Yes. Why? He will say that I might come out from the Ghaibat, but my own followers are still not ready to receive me. But this is the conclusion I want to have in this last majlis of the series, and then lead to Masaib. How we say that since generations from 256 Hijrah until date we are saying Ajjal Allah Ta'ala Farajak. But jab Imam ka zahur hoga और इमाम कहेंगे, हम क्या जवाब देंगे? ये कौन आ गया जो हमारी औरतों को हिजाब कराता है, दाढ़ी रखने पर सख्ती करता है, वक्त पर नमाज पढ़ने के लिए कह रहा है, सूद हराम है, शराब हराम है, ये ना करो, ये ना करो, ये ना करो. No, we are not ready to accept him. But a small incident, and I'll conclude my majlis with the Masaib of Hazrat Ali. Ayatullah Wahiduddin Behbahani. His period was approximately 300 years before Ayatullah Hui. His title was Ustadul Mustahideen. Ayatullah Khomeini, Ayatullah Mohsin al-Hakim never ever refer the name of Ayatullah Wahiduddin Behbahani. Always they say Ustadul Mustahideen. That means it is understood referring to Wahiduddin Behbahani. He was the biggest marja of his time in terms of knowledge and wisdom. Today, the center of knowledge is at Qom. Before Qom it was Najaf. Before Najaf it was Hilla, and before Hilla it was Karbala. All the ulamas of that time were used to be at Karbala, and he was in Behban. Behban is a place in Iran. That's the reason he's called as Behbahani. Something happened that he has to leave his town overnight, and he thought that let me go towards Karbala. When he was very close to Karbala, he thought that, see, there is no mode of communication, no mode of transportation. He just thought that, why should I go to Karbala, inside the Karbala city, when there are so many masajid, so many ulama, so many marajah? Let me stay outside Karbala. So he decided to stay in a very small village outside the boundaries of Karbala in a masjid, started performing namaz. He made his habit. Every day at the end of namaz Maghrib and Isha, he talks only for about 5 minutes about Imam Zamana. And in one of his majlis, I'll say majlis, he said that though we are praying for the appearance or the reappearance of Imam Zamana, and in spite of that, if he is not reappearing, probably it is still a benefit for us. People were not able to understand what does it mean. When we are weeping, crying, praying that, oh God, please send your last Imam, and no matter since how long we are praying this thing, and how come he say that if in spite of all these prayers, still if he is not reappearing, it means it is benefit for us. People started murmuring that ये झूठी हदीस है. Somebody said जाली हदीस है. Somebody said his intentions are bad. He don't want Imam Zamana to reappear so that people will look at Imam more than what they are looking at him. Since he is doubtful that his value will not be considered, that is the reason he is trying to convince us that even if Imam Zamana is not reappearing, it is good for us. people started abusing him. People started telling him that you are a liar. People started telling him that you are not an alim. And the agitation went to the level that one person stood from the audience, pulled him from the minbar and said, you please get out from the masjid. Marja-e waqt, Ustadul Mustahideen in the eyes of Ayatollah Muhsin al-Hakim and Ayatollah Khomeini. He was pulled out from the minbar and said, get out from the masjid. From tomorrow onwards, you will not perform namaz jamaat because you are against Imam-e-Zamana. He went home, started thinking and crying. Since last 6 months, I was performing namaz and they perform namaz in my leadership. Is it the way to treat a Peshimam like this, the way they have treated? And what wrong I said? And whatever he said that I did not say anything from my side. I have a quoted reference. He named the book, named the author. And they're all well accepted. In spite of that, these people have no patience to understand what I was trying to say. Not able to convince him, he was walking up and down, up and down. Suddenly he heard a knock on the door. He had a smile on his face. He thought of the hadith of Imam Ali. Imam Ali said that your bad actions, wrong actions always start with anger. And they cool down when you give a serious thought. So the alim thought that probably somebody has come from the masjid to apologize, to say sorry, because they might have done an act of this type in an angry mood. So he opened the door. He saw the secretary of the masjid standing at the door with a musalla in his hand on which Ayatollah Bhai Bahani used to perform namaz. He first abused, then he hit on the face of Ayatollah Bhai Bahani with the musalla. He spitted on his face. He said that, do you know what has happened in the masjid? Everybody has gone. I am alone there washing the place where you have performed namaz. Because of you, the entire masjid has become najis. Make sure that tomorrow onwards, you should never think of even enter into that masjid. Think of any normal person. What a painful thing for one's life if they are experiencing a situation of this type. An alim and marja. People have performed namaz at the back with his leadership. He could not sleep. The night passed. Just walking up and down in his house. At last he finishes namaz tahajjud, waiting for the fajr prayer. Again there was a knock on the door. He was afraid, made sure that he will not open the door. Because first time when somebody came, he hit him with musalla, he spitted on his face. Now if he opened the door, he don't know with what mood somebody has come on the door and knocking the door. But the person who was standing at the door repeatedly knocking the door. He was not ready to open the door. Finally the man shouted, if you don't open the door, I will break the door. He thought that if he can break the door, that means he can also kill me. So it is better to open the door. He opened the door. The moment he opened the door, he saw the same secretary standing in front of the door, and the moment he opened the door, the secretary put his head on the feet of Ayatollah Bhai Bahani and repeatedly crying and requesting that, oh Sayyid, please forgive me. He could not understand. Think that what I am talking is at least some 350 years old story. No mode of communication. The Marja was not able to understand that from the time he came to hit him with the musalla, what has happened in next 2, 3, 4 hours time, that he is now ready to say sorry, apologize, putting his head on the feet of Bhai Bahani and repeatedly crying and weeping. He said, okay, I forgive you, but you have to tell me what has happened. He said, after you left the masjid, people told me that because of you the entire masjid has become najis. So they gave me the responsibility to make it clean. I clean each and every corner of masjid. I clean the musalla. I clean the mimbar. And I was waiting for namaz-e-fajr. I got tired. In next few minutes, I slept. The moment I closed my eyes, I heard that somebody is announcing کہ امام زمانہ کا ظہور ہو چکا ہے. And he is at the Rawza Imam Hussain. And hundreds and thousands of people are approaching towards Rawza Imam Hussain to do their bayat on the hands of Imam Zamana. I was also there in the rush. So I also made the way to reach Imam Zamana. The moment I came very close to Imam Zamana turned his face to the other side. I thought maybe because of rush he has to sit on that side. So I went from the other side. When I came from the other side, again he changed his face direction to some other side. I called him, oh Imam, I am your follower. And I want to do bayat on your hands. Please give me your hand. I want to do bayat. He said, no, I cannot take your bayat. He said, why Mawla? Because you are wearing the dresses, the clothes what you are wearing, they were bought from the money which has come to you from a haram source. So the dress you are wearing, they are haram. So I cannot take the bayat of a person who is wearing haram dress. He realized, he went home, started looking for some dress which was not bought with his money. Somebody might have gifted some very old one, whatever the dress he could find. He wore the dress, again came back. Mawla, I changed my dress. Now you give me your hand. I want to do bayat on your hands. He said, no, I cannot. He said, why Mawla, I have changed the dress? He said, you are a resident of a house which is haram ka ghar. What do you mean? It's my house. He said, it is not your house. ये तुम्हारे दादा का घर था. तुम्हारे बाप और तुम्हारे चचा इक्वली वारिस थे, मगर तुम्हारे बाप ने अपने भाई को धोखा देकर पूरे मकान पर कब्जा कर लिया. And now you are saying that you got it inherited from your father. It's not your father's house. It is your grandfather's house, but taken by deceiving your own uncle. He said, Mawla, what shall I do now? He said, you have to come out of the house. He went home. Whatever he wanted to take, he took. And said, no, this house doesn't belong to me. He came to Mawla again. Said, Mawla, I have changed my dress. I have taken away myself from my house. Now please extend your hand. I want to do bayat. He said, no, I cannot. He said, what is the problem now? He said, the lady with whom you are living, thinking like a wife, she is not your wife. Oh, Mawla, she is my wife. No, you think that she is your wife. But the lady who has served milk to you, the same lady has served milk to your wife. That means she was like a sister to you. And you cannot marry a girl of that type. But Mawla, I was not aware. You were not aware, but now you are aware. So what shall I do? You have to go home and say talaq to your wife. He came home, he explained the situation to his wife and said, now I'm talaq. He came back again. Oh Mawla, please extend your hand. I have changed my dress. I leave my house. I left my wife. Now please extend your hand. He said, no, you are a father of a harami. How come? He said, your children are dushmane Ahl Bayt. Yes, they are. But what shall I do? If they are dushmane Ahl Bayt, you go and take the sword and kill your children. He said, you are my imam, who made me a houseless person, who made me to leave my wife, who made me to change my dress, and now you wanted me to kill my own children with my own hands. I don't even accept you as an imam. The moment he declared so, he opened his eyes. He said, yes. Oh, Ayatullah Bahbani, you are right. That no matter how many times I say Ajjalallahu Ta'ala for that, we are still not ready in our thoughts and minds that we are ready to face our Imam Zamana. But I think today I have taken much more time what was expected from me. Sorry for that. But I think with this I conclude. How many times we said Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajak? How many times we said we are the followers of Imam Ali, Shia, Azadar Hussain, Matamdar Hussain? These are all titles for this worldly atmosphere. Only you and me knows to what extent I am a Shia, I am a Azadar, I am a Matamdar. I told in the first majlis, you might be thinking that a Zakir sitting on this member to do a Zikr Hussain. This member knows what is the intention behind me to sit on this member. Nobody else knows. Me and my God. In the same way, you are here since last 9 days. We look at our dresses, we look at our emotions, we look at our cry of Ya Allah, Ya Ali, Ya Hussain, and we see that we are Azadar, we are Matamdar, we are Shias. But only the inner of yourself knows that who is a Maulvi, who is a Zakir, who is a Azadar, who is a Matamdar. Today is the last night. Still if something remain, I will conclude on the 12th of Muharram. I have to stop today. This is Shab-e Ashur. Last night, for Hazrat Sakina to look at Imam Hussain as his father. Last night for Rabab to look at Ali Asghar. Last night for Janab Layla to look at Ali Akbar. कितना फर्क पड़ जाएगा आज की रात में और आने वाली रात में. आज माएं हैं तो उनकी गोदियों में बच्चे हैं. कल की रात आएगी, माएं तो होंगी मगर उनकी आगोश खाली हो जाएगी. आज खैमे हैं, खैमे में बीबियां भी है. कल की रात आएगी, बीबियां तो होंगी मगर खैमे नहीं होंगे. अजीजा ने गिरामी, हर रोज एक शहीद का मातम किया. आज हुसैन के 6 महीने के बच्चे का मातम. तारीख इंसानियत के लिए इससे बड़ी मिसाल नहीं हो सकती. जब अब्बास की शहादत हो चुकी, हुसैन अली अकबर का लाशा उठा चुके, कासिम पामाल हो चुके, अब जब देखा कि कोई भी मुजाहिद बाकी नहीं रहा तो फिजाए करबला में आवाज गूंजी, हल मिन नासिरिन यंसुरना. खयाम हुसैनी से रोने की आवाज आई. हुसैन लौटकर खैमे में आए. पूछा, बहन ये रोने की आवाज क्यों है? कहा, मजाए जैसे ही आपने आवाज इस्तिगासा बुलंद किया, अली असगर ने अपने आप को झूले से गिरा दिया. हुसैन ने बच्चे को आगोश में लिया. कहा, लश्करे आदा के सामने जाऊंगा, सवाल आप करूंगा, हो सकता है कि कोई इंसान इस बच्चे को पानी पिला दे. सीने से लगे हुए हुसैन अली असगर को लिए हुए खैमे के बाहर निकलना चाहते थे. एक मर्तबा रबाब सामने आ गई. कहा, मौला थोड़ी देर के लिए बच्चे को मेरे हवाले कर दीजिए. हुसैन ने अली असगर को रबाब के हवाले किया. कुछ देर गुजरी, मां ने बच्चे को लाकर वापस इमाम के हवाले किया. इमाम ने बच्चे को गौर से देखा. रबाब ने अली असगर को नया लिबास पहनाया, सर के बाल संवारे, ये कहकर बच्चे को दे दिया कि मौला मेरा बच्चा पहली मर्तबा मैदान की तरफ जा रहा है, अगर हो सके तो थोड़ा सा पानी पिला देना. लश्कर आदा में आवाज गूंजी कि हुसैन तन्हाई का एहसास पाकर कुरान ला रहे हैं। बुलंदी पर चढ़े, लश्कर को मुखातिब किया कि अगर तुम्हारी नजर में मैं गुनहगार हूं तो मेरे गोद में एक छोटा सा बच्चा है जिसकी उम्र 6 महीने है, 3 दिन का भूखा और प्यासा है। कौन है जो इस बच्चे को आकर पानी पिला दे? किसी ने पानी नहीं पिलाया। अजीज़ान गिरामी, बहुत सी शहादतें हैं जिसे मैंने 2 दिन पहले भी कहा था कि शहीद की शहादत पढ़ना आसान काम है, गरीब की गुर्बत पढ़ना मुश्किल काम है। शहादत अली असगर के पीछे गुर्बत हुसैन की तरफ ले जाना चाहता हूं। जो लोग हिंदुस्तान की ज्योग्राफी से वाकिफ हैं इनके लिए बताऊं कि 2 शहर हैं, लखनऊ और कानपुर। ट्रेन से अगर सफर करें तो 4-4.5 घंटे का सफर होता है। अय्याम अज़ा की तारीखें थी। मौलाना लखनऊ से कानपुर मजलिस पढ़ने जा रहे थे। इत्तेफाक से उसी ट्रेन में उनका एक हिंदू दोस्त अपने दोस्तों के साथ सफर कर रहा था। उसकी नजर जब मौलाना पर पड़ी तो उसको ख्याल आया कि 4 घंटे का सफर है, अय्याम अज़ा की तारीखें हैं, क्यों नहीं मौलाना से कहें कि वो कुछ करबला के बारे में हमारे दोस्तों को बताएं। वो गया और मौलाना से गुजारिश किया कि मौलाना 3-4 घंटे का वक्त है, आप हमारे साथ बैठें और हमारे दोस्तों को बताएं कि ये करबला क्या है। मौलाना चलकर हिंदू दोस्तों के साथ बैठ गए। सोचने लगे कि 2-3 घंटे में कैसे बताऊं कि करबला क्या है, कहां से शुरू करूं, कहां खत्म करूं। तो उन्होंने कहा कि हजरत मोहम्मद इस्लाम के आखिरी नबी थे, इमाम हुसैन उनके नवासे का नाम था, अली और फातिमा के बेटे थे। जब 60 हिजरी का साल आया तो उस वक्त का खलीफा था यजीद इब्न मुआविया। उसने इमाम हुसैन से कहा कि बैत करो। इमाम हुसैन ने उसकी बैत करने से इनकार किया। तो मदीने को खून खराबे से बचाने के लिए उन्होंने अपने घर वालों को लेकर मदीने से एक ऐसे मकाम पर चले गए जो विलदाना था, जिसका नाम करबला था। लेकिन यजीद की फौज भी इमाम हुसैन का पीछा करते करते करबला तक पहुंची। 2 मुहर्रम की तारीख थी, इमाम हुसैन करबला पहुंचे। 4 मुहर्रम को यजीद की फौज आकर कहती है कि दरिया पर से खैमे हटाओ। इमाम ने हटा दिए। 7 मुहर्रम की तारीख आई तो पानी बंद हो गया। 10 मुहर्रम की तारीख आई तो फौज ने जंग छेड़ी। इमाम हुसैन के साथ 72 साथी थे, जिसमें बड़ी से बड़ी उम्र वाला 90 बरस का था, कम से कम उम्र वाला 6 महीने का बच्चा था। मगर इन्होंने लश्कर को तरतीब दिया। इमाम हुसैन की तरफ से एक सिपाही मैदान में जाता। पहले जो दोस्त थे वो लोग गए, उसके बाद अजीज जो थे वो जाने लगे। उनके बहन के बच्चे, उनके भाई के बच्चे, उनका भाई, खुद उनका बेटा। अब जब सारे लोग, सारे मर्द इमाम हुसैन के साथी शहीद हो गए, अब कोई बाकी नहीं था। तो इन्होंने करबला के मैदान में एक आवाज उठाई, है कोई जो मेरी मदद करे। तो हिंदू लोगों ने पूछा कि जब इमाम हुसैन को मालूम था कि करबला में कोई बाकी नहीं रहा, इन्होंने पुकारा क्यों? कहा कि वो इमाम थे और इमाम की जिम्मेदारी होती है कि वो यकीन कर ले कि अब कोई बाकी नहीं रहा। इसलिए उन्होंने पुकार लिया कि है कोई अब भी कोई मदद करने वाला। ऐसे वक्त खैमे से रोने की आवाज आई और वो खैमे को वापस आए। उनका 6 महीने का बच्चा था, उसका नाम था अली असगर। वो 3 दिन से प्यासा था। वो बच्चा झूले से नीचे गिर गया। इमाम हुसैन ने उस बच्चे को लिया और लश्कर यजीद के सामने खड़े होकर ऐलान किया कि ये बच्चा 3 रोज का भूखा और प्यासा है।
تم میں ہے کوئی ایسا انسان جو آ کر اس بچے کو پانی پلا دے؟ تو ہندو دوستوں نے پوچھا وہ بچے کی عمر کو دیکھ کر لوگوں نے پانی پلا دیا ہوگا؟ کہا نہیں پلایا۔ کہا پھر کیا ہوا؟ کہا امام حسین نے اس بچے کو کربلا کی زمین پر لٹا دیا اور کہا کہ اگر تم سمجھتے ہو کہ بچے کے بہانے میں پانی پی لوں تو تم خود آ کر اس بچے کو پانی پلا دینا۔ مگر کربلا کی زمین اتنی گرم تھی کہ جیسے ہی بچے کو لٹایا بچہ ایڑیا رگڑنے لگا تو حسین نے بچے کو دوبارہ اٹھا لیا۔ تو لوگوں نے پوچھا بچے کے تڑپنے کو دیکھ کر لوگوں نے پانی پلا دیا؟ کہا نہیں پلایا۔ کہا پھر کیا ہوا؟ کہا اس کے بعد حسین نے اس بچے کے کان میں کچھ کہا جسے ہم لوگ ایسے انٹرپریٹ کرتے ہیں کہ حسین نے کہا ہوگا کہ اے بیٹے تم پیاسے ہو تو تم بھی بتاؤ کہ تم کتنے پیاسے ہو۔ تو اس موقع پر اس بچے نے اپنی سوکھی زبان سوکھے ہونٹوں پر پھیرنا شروع کیا۔ اس منظر کو دیکھ کر لشکر یزید کے سپاہی رونے لگے۔ تو ہندو دوستوں نے پوچھا سپاہیان جب رونے لگے تو بچے کی پیاس کو دیکھ کر پانی پلا دیا؟ کہا نہیں پلایا۔ کہا پھر اس کے بعد کیا ہوا؟ کہا جب سردار لشکر نے دیکھا کہ لوگ رو رہے ہیں اس نے پکار کر کہا آئینہ آئینہ ہرملہ، ہرملہ کہاں ہے؟ تو ہندو دوستوں نے پوچھا یہ ہرملہ کون تھا؟ کہا ہرملہ لشکر یزید کے ایک سپاہی کا نام تھا جو ایک تیر انداز تھا۔ اس کا نشانہ اتنا پرفیکٹ ہوتا تھا کہ ہوا میں ایک تیر پھینک کر دوسرے تیر سے پہلے تیر کو نشانہ بناتا۔ اس کی طاقت اتنی تھی کہ اگر لوہے کی چادر پر تیر مارتا تیر پار ہو جاتا۔ تو لوگوں نے تعجب سے پوچھا حسین تو پانی مانگ رہے تھے، لوگوں نے تعجب سے پوچھا کہ حسین تو پانی مانگ رہے تھے، یہ ہرملہ کو کیوں بلایا؟ مولانا نے جواب دیا اس کے بعد کا اعلان ہوا اختاقلام الحسین، تو سارے کے سارے ہندو دوست کھڑے ہو گئے کہ مولانا خبردار اس کے آگے بڑھنے نہیں دیں گے۔ ہاتھوں کو جوڑ کر کہوں گا ارے تم ہندو تھے، تمہاری غیرت گوارا نہ کری، کوئی حسین سے پوچھے کیسے دیکھا ہوگا ہرملہ کا تیر آیا، علی اصغر کا گلا چھٹ گیا، بچہ باپ کے ہاتھوں پر منقلب ہو گیا۔ 6 مہینے کے بچے کے لاشے کو لیے ہوئے حسین در خیمہ تک آئے، سکینہ دوڑتی ہوئی آئی، اے بابا علی اصغر کو پانی پلا دیا۔ سکینہ پیاسی رہ گئی، حسین نے ابا کا دامن ہٹایا، ماں نے دیکھا من کا ڈلا ہوا ہے، باتوں میں خون ہے، فریاد کرنے لگی ہائے علی اصغر کیا تمہاری عمر کے بچے بھی قتل کیے جاتے ہیں؟ کیسے شہادت ہوئی؟ تیر سے بالا تھا، بچے کا گلا چھوٹا تھا، فات گلا چھدا نہیں بلکہ سر جدا ہو گیا۔ واہ محمدہ واہ غربتہ۔ ماتم حسین۔
یا حسین